Fair play to Isaiah and Lucinda. Fair play. Listen, fair play. I wasn't rooting for them to win. I'll be very honest. I wasn't rooting for them to win. They weren't my winners. Justine and Tyreek were actually my winners for this Love Island games. But Isaiah and Lucinda just happened to be better in the duel. It is what it is. I'm not going to complain. I'm not going to cry. Just congratulations. They were the underdogs and they came out on top. Congratulations to them. But yes, guys, this will be the final review, obviously, for Love Island games. So if you guys are new to the channel, be sure to like, comment, share, and subscribe with the bell notification. And every time I upload, you'll be notified. And just so you know, we're on the road to 10,000 subscribers. So be sure to join the family. Without further ado, let's just get straight into this review. So the episode... Oh, my eyes itching me, child. Shoot. Oh, Lord. Okay. Sydney is nervous of how Toby acted because, as you know, the voting was left to the US audience. But as I was on social media, as I be doing, a lot of people voted for Sydney and Toby, as we clearly saw in today's result. A lot of people voted because when Sydney said that she'll steal the money, that's why a lot of people voted. And yeah, myself, I was not surprised with today's results, but we'll get to it when we get to it. Sydney wasn't feeling good in the morning, but now it seems like they can make light of the situation, of what had happened. And Sydney said that Toby has a lot of work to do outside of them being in a couple within the villa, because remember they were friends or are friends outside of this whole Love Island thing. But it seems from snaps I'm seeing, it seems like they all kumbaya and cool. So yeah, Tyreek said he saved all his energy for 3 weeks for the mega duel. And Justine is saying that she really likes Ty. I'm not gonna lie to you. I'll be so real. For those of you that hated on Tyreek, okay, he didn't win, but he made it that far. Just for this. Man didn't really have to duel or anything. He didn't have to duel or anything. Man used his whole strategic mindset. He had a game plan coming into this. He came ready. He came prepared. And I think that's why a lot of you are hating on him, and that's why a lot of you cannot accept the fact that Tyreek made it that far. Him and Justine almost won. Now, imagine if he won. Just imagine for a second if Tyreek and Justine won. The hate that he would have received would have been unbearable, because it would have been a thing where it's like, you lot just think Love Island Games is about, like, this is my first year watching it, but I can tell it's not just all about strength. Even when you do the duels, it's not all about strength. It's about strategy. It's about problem solving. It's about communication as a team. Like, there's a lot more that goes into it than just having brute strength. So when you lot are online saying stuff, you need to just mind what you're saying and reread what you're saying, because some of you look silly. You look real silly. The Islanders are talking about their favorite memories within the villa. The boys were talking about would they split or still. If I was in that situation, I would actually split. Like, 250 is a lot, but 125k, that's still a lot of money. It's still a lot. Me stealing a whole 250, number one, I will feel very bad. And number two, I'm not a greedy person when it comes to, like, money and stuff. Like, no matter how big of a sum it is, if I have the chance to share that with someone, I'm going to share it. That's just that. So I had a feeling if Tyreek and Justine won, Tyreek would have stole. I don't know. I just have a weird feeling that he would have stole. He would have stole. And I want to know what happens if both of them have picked still. Does it still get split in half? But then again, we'll talk about the ending when we get to it. The couples are at peace knowing that they have come this far, and no matter who wins, they will be happy. I guess those are the four couples that wanted to be in the final. And those are the four that most of the audience was rooting for, to be honest. From what I was seeing online, remember, it's like a small percentage on social media compared to, like, other platforms. Like, you got Twitch, you've got Facebook, you have Snapchat, you've got Insta. Like, there's different communities on different social media. For me, I don't have Facebook, I don't have Twitch, I don't have these platforms, so I cannot really I cannot really speak for them communities, but they're different communities. So I'm more of the TikTok and Twitter. Snapchat, I can't really say Snap. I can't really say Snap, but you guys get what I'm trying to say. Tyreek is too funny. Tyreek is saying he's tired of making the girls breakfast. You know what? One thing, like I said, you can't hate. He's just very honest and very transparent. If that's how he feels, he'll say how he feels. Like, you have to respect it. A lot of these guys, I wouldn't say some of them, they will fake it and pretend and all this type of stuff, but really and truly they're not doing what they're feeling. You understand? Tyreek said he would love to duel Toby and show him who's the big dog. I wonder how that would have turned out if it was Toby and Sydney versus Tyreek and Justine. I would have actually loved to see Toby and Tyreek go against each other, you know. That would have been very, very interesting. And I think Tyreek would have put a lot more effort into it. I'm not saying he didn't put effort into this duel, but I think if he was up against his friend, it's a matter of which friend wants it more. Tyreek said to Toby, if you like Sydney so much, why would you play tug of war with Casey? And that's 110% facts. That's so true. That is true, because why do you feel the need, especially with Casey out of all people as well? Casey out of all people. And Kendall and Casey get on my nerves, but I'll get to the reason why they annoy me. Both of them just irritate me. They just annoy me. I'm just looking at these men give me the ick. The way that these men behave gives me the ick. Honestly. Lucinda said that she's got strong genetics, and Lucinda will want to duel against Sydney, not just because she's Isaiah's ex, but because she sees Sydney as the easier opponent. Johnny is saying that Gabby has to believe that she can beat any of the girls in the villa. Then Ariana enters. 3 of the couples will compete in a mega duel. Two couples with the most will go through to the mega duel. So 2 couples with the most votes, sorry, I was meant to put here, will go through to the mega duel. So the first couple in no particular order was Justine and Ty. I knew Justine and Ty was solidified. That I knew was solidified. The second couple did, even though I was seeing it on social media, it still caught me by surprise because I personally wasn't expecting it. Was Sydney and Toby. Now I think that those 3 in the final was actually the fairest. I think it was the fairest, because if Johnny was there, I feel like Johnny and Gabby would have, they would have won. I 110% believe that. If they was in the final, they would have won. Johnny being with how big he is and Gabby being like a fitness instructor, that's her job. Nah, they would have won. So with Gabby and Johnny receiving the least amount of votes, they end up getting dumped. The returned Islanders will be back to watch the mega duel. So the final, Justine was saying that's the final 3 that she was actually praying for. So now that Johnny's out, is basically less competition. We now get to the mega duel. When Lucinda, it's funny because when Ariana must have asked her something and Lucinda was talking, the way the camera panned to Mert was so funny because Mert was out here all writing love letters to Lucinda. Lucinda ain't care about you. It was so early on, like Lucinda ain't care about you. And I knew that wasn't a thing. But Mert obviously probably feels a type of way because he's probably thinking that could have been him. That could have been him winning that 250K. That could have been him in that position. But it is what it is. Some of the Islanders don't believe Toby, saying that how he believes in Lucinda. Kendall was saying he doesn't believe it. And I think he was the same one to say, oh, it's because there's no chairs about. I mean, I don't know. I personally, how do I feel? Do I feel like Toby believes in her? I don't know. I can't say 100% if I don't 100% trust it. Maybe he's just trying to save face like one of the Islanders said, but yeah, it is what it is, I guess. So there's 2 duels. So the first duel is gonna be all 3 couples against each other. And the couple that finishes in last place will be eliminated. And then we get to the final duel, which will be head-to-head. The first duel is known as Tower of Trust. And it's basically you move the pole. The poles have to be moved from pole 1 to 3. Using the biggest disc at the bottom has to start from the bottom. And then you work your way up. The circles, the higher up it is, basically. This one is more of a mental game. So it's more, is you need all three. You need strength, because the bigger the thing, the heavier it is. You need strength, you need strategy, and you need to have good problem solving skills. Tariq excels in this because he's a very good strategist. He's very, very good. He's very, very good at that. And obviously in that challenge, Ty and Justin came first, and they came first out, and the time that they kind of done it in, it did take them a while, but compared to the other two, they done it like that basically. And then obviously Lucinda and Isaiah came second, which meant Toby and Sydney were eliminated. Therefore, we now get to the final duel, known as the heist. The money bags are in the middle. Each bag in the zone will be counted at the end. Basically, there was yellow and blue. They had to get as much black bags in their zone as possible. The bigger the bag, the bigger the points. The smaller the bag, the smaller the point. But then there was 3 white bags. And obviously, you didn't want to get the biggest white bag in your section. That's -6 points. So each white bag would deduct points, basically. Casey and Kendall opening their beef suckers to say, oh, it's definitely going to be a whitewash. This is why you don't speak too soon. This is why you don't speak too soon. This is why I do not like Casey. And Casey, I've always been like, is a weird guy anyway. But Kendall, you're slowly creeping up to that spot, because what are you doing? Now, I've heard from your season of Love Island, people weren't effing with you like that. People were not messing with you like that. So, but I'm not going to go off that because I didn't watch that season. So I'm only going off what I'm seeing now. No wonder why you and Casey are friends. You're both weird like each other. You're both so weird. You're there chatting shit about Lucinda because it's Lucinda, but haha, basically, haha. And Casey's a very bitter person. Apparently, he was saying some stuff about Tyreek on the After Sun. I didn't watch it, but people are talking about it on the timeline. He was saying the man's a very bitter man, like, you lost. Take it or leave it. You didn't come in with strategy. You came in thought it was regular Love Island. You have to come in with a strategy. What? You're mad that Tyreek's a better strategist than you. Make it make sense. So obviously the winner of the duel was Lucinda and Isaiah. And then this is when I said Casey and Kendall, eat up your words, because you said it would have been a whitewash. Anyway, Justine said that Ty was her favourite couple out of all 3 seasons of Love Island, which is quite cute to hear, especially with what they kind of went through. No, let me not do that. What they kind of went through, they went through that little blip period. And then it came down to split or still. Now, this was where it got interesting, but I was kind of hoping, anyway, the ex-Islanders got to pick who wins the money out of Isaiah and Lucinda. And then the winner of that will get to decide if they want to keep or share. 5 people were behind Lucinda. Isaiah had 12 people behind him. I mean, when you look at it like that, that is a shit situation to put 2 people in, but the game's the game. Lucinda picked love. So if she had won, that's what would have did. That's what would have been that. And Isaiah also picked love as well. So therefore the money gets split. I would have kind of wanted one of them to steal just for the drama effect of it. But you see me, that's just me being messy. But I'm actually happy for Lucinda and Isaiah. Lucinda hasn't been my favorite person this season, but it's good to see that she's come out on top with Isaiah. And hopefully they can have something blossom from this. But yeah, guys, that's it for Love Island Game Season 2. It's been a journey. It's been a good 3 weeks. I'm glad it's actually only been 3 weeks. Okay, that's 1 show down. I just have Love Island, Love is Blind to catch up on and wait for that to finish. Then I can finally get back in the gym, because then it's only Big Brother I'm reviewing. Thank you, Lord Jesus. I can get back in the gym. I can get back to working out. I can get back to locking into the gym. I could seriously lock in. Christmas is around the corner. I'm not trying to put on too much weight, you know. But yeah, guys, that is it. But if you guys are into Love is Blind and you watch Love is Blind, I'll be back on here later with another review. It's been your boy Tariq, and I'll catch you guys on the next one.